Saan ka man dalhin ang kapalaran, iisang bayan lang sa puso mo'y laman. Pinagmulan at babalikan, konting tiis na lang, at hanggang sa araw na yan ay asal. Kami nandito lang, sabay na pakinggan ang mga kwento nyo. Isigaw natin sa mundo, bagong bayani namin kayo. Sipag at tapang nyo, hinialay sa mundo, sinasaludo namin kayo. Pilipino, itaas ang noo, ipagmalaki mo ang galing nyo, isigaw sa mundo.
I-cue mo ako, ha? Magandang hapon UK at Europe, magandang gabi Pilipinas. Saan man kayo naroroon, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ihahatid namin sa inyo ang kwento ng iba-ibang mukha ni Juan sa special program live streaming Juan Konek Kontra Corona here on Facebook, kasama po ang YouTube. Samahan niyo kami sa mga natatanging kwento ng mga Pinoy sa Europa na mag-iiwan ng aral, impormasyon, ngiti at pag-asa. Ako po si Rose Eclarinal.
Ito po ang kwentong Pinoy, kwentong migrante, kwentong Juan Connect Kontra Corona. I am Jean Alcantara.
For our Contra Corona project for 6 months, the National Lottery Community Fund is graciously funding this project to serve the Filipino communities in England, UK, and beyond. Today, our guest is joining from Sonoma County, California, former beauty queen, award-winning actress, activist, and artist, Maria Isabel Lopez, who will talk about her current exhibit, aptly called Pandemic Moments. She will also share some tips on how to stay healthy, both physically and mentally, during the pandemic.
We are also introducing a new segment, Philcom Connect, para po bigyan daan ang mga natatanging ambag ng mga grupong Pinoy o Philcom groups sa pagtulong sa ating mga kababayan, lalo na sa panahon ng pandemya. Ngayon sa Philcom Connect, tututok po tayo sa the Cordillera Connection.
Jean, napaka-exciting ng week na ito. Pasensya na po sa paghihintay ninyo sa amin. Pero meron kaming pangbawi dahil gusto po naming ipakita sa inyo ang official opening billboard ng docu-series One You Connect na mapapanood po ninyo sa end Sunday ng September. Panoorin po natin ito.
More than 2,000 patients are reportedly in critical condition.
The epidemic is awful, but of course spreading is the risk of infection reduced in
The country has reported 889 cases.
It was a national crisis.
So yan, Jean, dapat po abangan nila yan. Ang first installment ng ating docu-series ay mapapanood po nila sa September 27. So, tutok po kayo, alauna pa rin yan. Dapat sana ngayong hapon makakasama pa rin natin ang isa sa ating inaabangang guest, si Victoria, isa pa ring Victoria, pero hindi po natin makakasama because nagkaroon siya ng konting karamdaman. Anyway, ang mapapanood po natin ngayon, ang makakasama natin ay talaga namang mainit kahit na sa panahon ngayon na papunta na tayo sa winter. Did you know, Jean, that multi-award-winning actress Maria Isabel Lopez is a fine arts graduate of the University of the Philippines and a former secretary of the National Commission for Culture and Arts Committee on Visual Arts from 2011 and 2013. In pandemic moments, her virtual and physical exhibit that showcases mosaic and artwork pieces, makikita talaga natin ang galing ng isang Maria Isabel Lopez. Her online gallery is now open and the outdoor exhibition is also open by appointment at the gardens of Ranchito Milagro, a spectacular place set as a backdrop for her art pieces. Of course, marami tayong matututunan kay Isabel, from the arts to living healthy and positive, having a positive attitude. So, yan. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to have on our show today Miss Maria Isabel Lopez. Good afternoon or good morning ba dyan sa California, Miss?
Oh, hello, Rose. Great to talk to you again after the red carpet at the Cannes Film Festival in 2016. Hello to my fellow kababayan and to the frontliners out there. Good afternoon. It's my first time here sa Juan Connect. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you know what? How exciting, no? Yung 2016. That was my first and sana masundan pa, face-to-face interview with you. What an epic year it was for the Philippines because that year, our best actress.
Yeah. Jacqueline won at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yes, that's right. But
Yes.
you know what, Miss Isabel, di ko rin makakalimutan, you were a scene stealer during that Cannes Film Festival. You know,
It's because of the iconic green gown of Albert Andrada. But there's no really intention to steal. It's just effortless.
effortless. That's that's what you are. Yun talaga, yung wala namang effort but it just happens like that because I was there, naglalakad kayo, and then when it was time to pose for a group shot, all of a sudden, you raised your hand para dun sa post na yon, and it became viral.
Yeah, the world is full of surprises.
I know. It was a fun time. For me also, that was, I think, my second time to cover Cannes. Pero yun yung
You went to San Sebastian Film Festival, did you? Did you not go to the other film festivals around the world?
I did, but that was my second for Cannes. But
Okay.
it was so meaningful for me because nga nanalo ng Best Actress si Miss Jacqueline.
Yes.
So, bago pa magkaroon ng disconnect yung mga kababayan natin sa pinag-uusapan natin, but I know, alam naman nila kung ano yung Cannes Film Festival at saka yung historic moment na yon because that was the first time for the Philippines. Pag-usapan natin muna, you are now based in the US?
Yes, I got married last year. So I am now Mrs. Melrod. So after you get married, the pandemic came. And it's very timely that I'm married because, the actors and actresses are unemployed, especially that I'm a kapamilya. So they're not producing series now. There's a pandemic. So you have to continually reinvent yourself and revision yourself.
Exactly. And congratulations. I think I met your fiancé in Cannes. And ilang taon na po kayo naninirahan sa California?
Well, I've been here intermittently. I've been coming to California in the past 5.5 years since we've been together. And then like 3 years, 4 years ago, I started to like plan my life here in California. So show business work, I would fly occasionally to Manila to do some teleserye, and then after that come back here to do art exhibits. So in other words, whether there's a pandemic or not, I needed to like have a channel for my creative juices.
And you know what? You wear so many hats. Bata pa ako, Maria Isabel Lopez na kayo. When I was growing up, you're the Maria Isabel Lopez na beauty queen, actress. And when I was a reporter back in Manila, kayo naman ay naging advocate of so many causes, di ba?
Oh yes, I've always been very active, especially with women's rights, violence against women and children, the LGBTQ rights. I've always been vocal. And alam mo naman na taga-UP so you know how people from UP, that's where that gave rise to activism. Way back in those days, yeah.
Okay, meron tayong konting kakaibang game ngayon. Or it's not a game actually, just to have a little bit of throwback. We will be showing some photos of you and tell us some anecdotes or tell us about the photos. So, Chad, shall we start with the first one? A scene from Norma, 1965.
1965! So
yes,
I was only like how old? I was probably 8 years old or 7 years old.
So you were there. Which one are you?
Well, I was that girl on with short hair on the right.
Uh-huh.
There's another girl on the left. That's the daughter of Armida Suganreina. So in other words, it's a production under the national artist Jovita Fuentes. Opera Norma was done by Puccini. So my mom and I would always go. I would always tag along for rehearsals. So they needed somebody to play the daughter. So that was my first acting job.
Soprano?
She's a mezzo-soprano, the foremost mezzo-soprano in the Philippines during the Marcos days. Well, you know, when Marcos was overthrown, the opera died. But way back, she played all the major operas as a mezzo-soprano. It's like Madame Butterfly, she did La Gioconda, Aida, you know, Carmen. And I was like given the opportunity to do my first acting job. The first person to ever put my makeup was then the late Tita Armida Suganreina.
Oh,
so
wow.
First, had to put my makeup. After that, I scratch it. And then she got mad at me. No, don't scratch it. She has to put makeup again on me.
Okay, wow.
Yes, you know? And that's how I happened to meet her daughter, Monique.
Yes, ngayon ko lang nalaman yan, ano? Very interesting. Our next photo, Chad. Oh my goodness, look at this child. First prize. Child health contest. Oh my cute. Kasi, ayan, siguro kayo yung pinaka-healthy bata dyan.
Okay, I think, baby pa lang ako, destined na ako to be a bold star. You know why? The way they judge the babies, according to my mother, was they have to remove the clothes and look at the skin. So then, my mom told me my skin was pink. It's baby pink.
Oh, wow. What can I say? What was your waistline here?
This is how I was discovered. I was a sexy model doing this Lido de Paris, like Folies Berger type of show.
Yes.
Yeah, it was in a group show, modeling group called the Gerard Peter Models. Maybe you weren't born yet. But it's a kind of fashion show which is very much ahead of its time. So in the Philippines, we were doing these live shows. The ad of this modeling group says the country's most beautiful women. And I was modeling that Folies Berger type. We were wearing like bikinis, see-throughs, lingeries, like typical Folies. And I was discovered by fashion designer Rudy Fuentes during the 80s. After that, he saw me there and then he told me that I have business waiting for you. He gave me his card. And then when I went to his office, he told me that I'm going to let you join the Binibining Pilipinas beauty pageant. And then I told him, I'm not going to win because I'm a sexy model. You know naman na they're so elitista. In the 80s, the Binibining Pilipinas pageant, especially now, it's no longer under Stella Marquez Araneta, but with Stella Marquez, she's so elitista and kind of like, you know, My origins are very simple. I'm the girl from Balik-Balik, Sampaloc, Manila.
Mhm.
Went to UP, had an education, was working, doing this job as a sexy, a Polish Berger type of model. I was
Yeah.
moonlighting with this job and being a fashion designer for SM.
Mm-mm.
SM Shoemart. I was the one of their house designers. In other words, I was moonlighting at night to make both ends meet.
I
So,
Well,
so you know,
inspiring naman. Oh yes, working hard no at a young age. But after that, you joined Nad Binibini.
I joined, but then they found out, they discovered that I had this background, that I was doing this sexy show at night.
Mm-mm.
And I told you, they say that, you know how the world can be so judgmental. And when you talk about morality, there's so many standards. When you apply for the beauty pageant, the number one, they're of good moral character. Of
Okay.
course, I'm of good moral character. And even if you're a graduate of UP, this will not cover up this will not cover up what you were doing in the past. That's why I was in danger of losing the crown way back in 1982. The organizers asked me to resign. But then I did not resign because I did not ask for this. The judges were the ones who made me win. They're very well aware that I had this background.
Actress na ba kayo dito sa photo na to?
This was me as a official candidate for Binibining Pilipinas.
Mm-mm.
And in other words, like I said, I'm a woman very much ahead of my time. During the screening, I had no swimwear. I had to pick up my swimwear from this sexy modeling fashion show, which is a tanga. You know how a tanga is, very high waist. So when I got there, talagang the fellow candidates were raising their eyebrows. But because it's the only swimwear, decent swimwear I got, so I used it. Everybody was wearing the typical one-piece swimwear. Mine is so scandalosa.
Oh my goodness, it's nice to look back into that
I know, and then there was a
joined
time
the competition.
Rose, I was hearing this from gossips in the pageant that they were gonna give me a lot of minor awards, like the Miss Close Up, like the best minor awards. But there's a news going on that I will be disqualified in the pageant because of this.
Oh, I see.
So minutes before the coronation night, they called me. They let me enter a room, a private room. When I got inside, I saw all the board judges sitting down.
Mm-mm.
Elvira Manahan, the late Elvira, she shouts at me and says, "Maria Isabel Lopez, we have heard talks that you model for these so-called bold fashion shows. What do you wear?" She asked me, that is in private. And then I answered, ironically, I was wearing the Maria Clara costume for the production number. And then I answered her, we wear one piece, two piece, and lingeries. But the material is not very flimsy. I kind of defended myself. And then he asked me, "Do you have any nude photographs?" And then I said, "Ping!" So I gotta be careful. Do I have any nude photographs?
Oh yes.
And then I said, the most I have is wearing a robe which is like buttoned, not tied or not buttoned.
Yes.
But and then before I answered that, when I was thinking if I have any nude photographs, Rita Gomez, the late Rita Gomez, said, "Well, you better tell us the truth now because these things are coming out in the papers tomorrow." So I said, "Why is this coming out in the papers?" I was like so stressed. So when I got out of that, so I defended myself and I told them I don't have any nude photographs, and then they let me out. When I got out of that judge waiting room, it's like my world was crumbling. It's like everything was so dark, I almost fainted. And then a singer friend of mine who was also a candidate told me, "Isabel, come on. They called you there because you make a difference. If I don't make any difference, they don't have to interview me. They'll just like not make me win." So I said, "You fight. You have to fight." So I just went on with the pageant. It's like nothing happened. Yeah.
And the rest is history. Show that photo of. Do we have a photo of Miss Isabel's crowning glory? Yung nanalo na siya. There you go. That, wow.
But that wasn't the end, Rose, because after
Yes.
that, weeks after, the scandal broke out that I was coming from this kind of origin, and then finally they asked me to resign. And I did not resign. I held on to my crown. I was able to make it to the Miss Universe pageant in Lima, Peru. Though I did not win, I was able to get good score in the swimsuit competition. And then the rest is history. I was able to move on from there to being an actress. Because you're only a beauty queen for 1 year.
Oo, what? You know what? Matagal nang nangyari to, no? You won in 1982, correct?
No, we're talking about how many years ago? Almost 40 years ago. 4 decades, my goodness.
Oh, but when were you crowned? What year was it?
1982.
That's right. So 1982.
Right.
Now,
After that,
and-
Rose, you have to understand, they changed the rules.
yeah.
Now, you cannot be an official candidate if you have modeled for a men's magazine. They have
Yes.
disqualified so many contestants now based on that rule. I was like the only one who got away with it. Sandra Seifert was disqualified. Some are dethroned. Some are like Kim Ross. She modeled for a sexy magazine in a two-piece bikini. She was disqualified, even if she was.
So why did you get away with it? Bakit ikaw lang? Only Maribel Lopez can do it.
Well, you know how it is when you're from Balik-Balik, Sampaloc, Manila, and when you're from UP, you have the angst. That's the difference between me and the other beauty queens. I have the angst.
Interesting to know because you're a graduate of UP College of Fine Arts. All
Yes,
my
yes.
friends, when I was in university, lahat ang tambayan ko is UP College of Fine Arts.
Yeah, because we're in the moonlight, in the center.
Yeah, yes, because frustrated artist din yata ako. Wala talaga akong talent. So I just, watch my friends and I hang out with them. It's because of, I like the art scene. Tell us about your artworks. Kasi,
Oh, yes.
ang natin malaman is, how did you make use of your time efficiently?
In the
Na
pandemic,
hindi ka,
you
during
stay
the
home.
lockdown, yes.
You stay home, and then in the pandemic, people are suicidal. Most young people are depressed. They feel hopeless.
Mm-mm.
Not to mention the fact na wala kang trabaho. I'm Maria Isabel Lopez, double jeopardy. No work as an actress, and then no work as an artist because you stay home. So even if you just a lot of artists make good art, but they have no chance to do exhibitions because galleries are closed. The main buyers for art are those people with extra money. Kasi this is not an essential commodity. So what do you do? You have to stay home, channel your energy, create beautiful art because it puts meaning into my life. Otherwise, you go crazy. If there's if there's a build-up in you, you go crazy in this pandemic and you're home. So
Okay.
finally,
So you did not let the pandemic stop you from doing your
no, you just have
artwork.
to adapt. You
Mhm.
have to adapt. Like you will not be stopped from eating out. You
Mhm.
can eat outdoor because outdoor is safer. And of course, you have to like carry with you. I have like a lifeline bag that
Mhm.
have all the sanitizers, the wipes, the alcohol, and all the gloves.
Mhm.
And also, like I have an electric car charger that if I have to charge my car in a charging station, I wear like double gloves, heavy duty gloves, and then like sanitize everything you touch.
Everything. Okay, so
Like the saying goes, ligtas ang praning.
that's true. Wala namang masama kung talagang mag-iingat ka. But tell us about your exhibit.
Yeah, this exhibit is being done by the Sebastopol Center for the Arts every year. It's called Art at the Source. And we have this art at the source. It's scheduled for June. But because this is where you open your studio, it's called Open Studios, and then you can like have interaction with the buyers, keep in touch with the market. But since the pandemic, California was in a lockdown March. So June was canceled. So the center revisioned itself into doing it online. So now I'm doing this virtual art exhibit. It's called Pandemic Moments. Because these are the moments where you're locked inside, and what do? You kind of have to create something, like you kind of go back to like your life, you reassess yourself. So it all came out in my art form. I'm doing like this mosaic. I'm a member of the American Society of Mosaic Artists, And then I chose subject matters that I could relate it. Like one of my pandemic moments artwork is Madonna in Child. It brings me back to those days when I was like a Catholic, and like you put your faith in praying to Mama Mary and to Jesus Christ, baby Jesus, for protection, things like that. In the pandemic, people would normally go online. There's more people now on social media
That's
um,
true.
communicating because there's no social life. There's no
Yes.
parties. Like, you can do Zoom parties now, but in my case, I have to like do it productively. So I
Mm-mm.
thought about coming up with this art show called Pandemic Moments. And right now, it's still ongoing here for the whole month of September in Sebastopol, California. And I'll take this opportunity to those watching this show that the show is ongoing the whole month of September, and to look at my website, mariaisabellopezart.com. And also, the online gallery is www.sebast. I'm going to give you the link. So it's
Yes. We'll put, yes.
sebastvirtual.org/Lopez/artist. Yes.
So how many pieces do you have for the exhibit? How
For
many pieces
exhibit,
have
I
you?
have like a couple of new works. Probably it's a 12-piece exhibit. And then
Mhm.
6 of them are available for viewing online. So I sold 2 artworks online already. So I had to replace the 2 artworks with another 2 new pieces online. And then if you go to my website, it gives you a bird's eye view of what the studio is. Adapting to the new normal, the galleries are closed. So instead of doing an exhibit indoor, mine is mainly outdoor in the gardens where it's safer with a
Is
no
it
mask,
your
no
garden?
entry policy.
Your
Yeah.
garden?
My physical studio, yeah, we use the garden because I live in a 4-acre property here, which has a lot of fruit bearing trees, and so we put easels, we put all the artworks outside where people could take a look at the art and the garden, which in itself is a form of art. So when you're outdoor, it's safer from the virus because there's air circulation.
That's right. And
Yeah.
of course, kailangan din nila mag-maintain ng social distancing.
We have a no mask, no entry policy. And even the restroom, there's a sign that when you open the restroom, there's a sanitizer na hang on the doorknob where you spray it.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah,
Really, how long did you prepare for that? How long did you finish all your
I prepared the artworks early on since last year because of the June show. But then during the pandemic, I created a few more works. But then the signs, it took me a long time to do the signs because this is the new normal. Like my tarpaulin, I have to like put a sign on the tarpaulin that says by appointment only. And then there's a telephone number that you can call. Of course, not my cell phone, but I have to put the answering machine on with a message. If you're calling for studio tours, please leave your name, like that. And then you have to make the signs outdoor, the signs from the main gate, and there's a little side gate.
So lahat ng, the physical work, I'm sure you have done it yourself because
Yes.
it's locked down. So a lot of things you have done yourself. So well done. I mean,
Only me
lahat
doing it, Rose. Even jeepney drivers are putting these plastic, coverings on their jeepneys. Even
Yes.
these tricycle drivers, they're like, you have to improvise.
Yes, you have to, yeah, exactly. So that's a really good message during this pandemic, no? Kailangan mag-adjust ka to the time. Hindi pwede na you will insist on the way we used to do our daily activities because meron nga tayong kalaban. We have an enemy that we don't see.
Yeah, not only that, it's a lot of work. Why? If I go out to the supermarket to buy the essential goods, and then if I go shopping, if I'm visiting my mom in the nursing home, I cannot use the restroom in the public restroom because remember the cases of the no COVID numbers are so high in restaurants, in elevators. I have a porta potty in the car. I want to share this to my fellow pero Juan and Juanas out there. I have a porta potty that I set up, and then I have to open the car door. I have perfected the art of not being seen peeing in the parking lot. It's a lot of work to choose which parking lot to go to. This is empty. I have to park on this side. I have to park in front of a tree to cover me while I use my porta potty and pee. And then after that, you remove the plastic from the porta potty. You kind of like put them and
Yes.
put them in the dumpster. It's not easy just to pee. It's a lot of effort. When you
It is
go,
actually, yes.
yeah,
Yes, but well done. I mean, lahat naman yan, we have to find ways and solutions on how to, we live our life. But I'm quite impressed na sa kabila ng pandemic, you were able to finish your project because you started it last year and now you have a virtual